Our emotions guide our shifts way more than we realize. They're not obstacles to overcome. They're invitations to understand. Hello, friends, and welcome back to The Free Advantage, brought to you by The Risky Path. I'm Heather Davis, and I want to invite you to join me each week as we explore self-discovery, authenticity, and the journey to recovering a life of freedom. This podcast is about sharing and exploring impactful experiences that we all share in a relatable and digestible way. With so much information out there, it can be overwhelming to take it all in. And here, I want to give you small bites that you can take back into your week and integrate into your daily life. Hello, everyone. If you're just tuning in or missed last week's episode, we are diving deep into our Holy Living series, A Journey to Your Authentic Reveal. This is an exploration of what it means to no longer live as remnants of ourselves and to live as a whole integrated being. This series is all about returning to the fullness of who you are, body, mind, heart, and spirit. We have been exploring the 4 pillars of wholeness. And last week, we talked about the body. And today, we're stepping into our emotions and what it means to live wholehearted. I know for so many of us, our emotions are an area where we can feel the most lost, overwhelmed, or even defeated. But what I have learned is that our emotions are a language. They are the currency of communication. Learning how to understand and navigate a world that we don't fully know the language of can be scary and confusing. It can feel a lot like trying to survive in a foreign country without knowing a single word. It is imperative that we become fluent in the language of ourselves. Being emotionally fluent isn't just about understanding feelings. It's about learning to live with your heart open, responsive, and true. For a long time, I really believed that I personally had a handle on my emotions. I had been building an entire identity around connecting with people. I was a hairdresser after all, and listening, empathizing, and reading between the lines, it was all part of what I did. But then, one day, something shifted for me. I woke up and I realized I didn't feel the same about it anymore. Something inside me felt tired, flat, and disconnected. I found myself just going through the motions. It wasn't burnout exactly. It was something deeper. And at first I thought maybe I was just feeling frustrated or I needed a break. But the more I leaned into it, the more I realized the work that I once loved no longer aligned with who I was becoming. And I couldn't continue to force myself to keep doing it by simply pushing through my feelings anymore. That experience really changed me. It led me down a new path of researching, learning, and growing, and eventually led me to the life I'm living now. Our emotions guide our shifts way more than we realize. They're not obstacles to overcome. They're invitations to understand. Most of us were never taught how to speak the language of emotion. We were taught to suppress, to smile through it, or pretend it's not even a thing. We have been taught that any show of emotions was being either over-emotional or hysterical, or it was the evidence that you were less of a man. But just like French, Spanish, Italian, German, or Mandarin, if we try to navigate a country without knowing the language, things can get dicey. When we do not speak the same language, we cannot understand each other. And so it is with emotions. We live in a culture that teaches us to intellectualize our emotions or ignore them altogether. But doing so fragments us. It disconnects us from our depth. We were created emotional beings. Our emotions are a divine language. When we are born, we already know happiness, sadness, fear, and anger. We are able to express it even when we don't understand it. The language barrier that we have with others can keep us at a distance and hold us back from connecting. But when we see someone sad, hurt, angry, or afraid, or happy, our emotional language transcends words. Emotions are innate, built by design. We have been created in the image of our Creator. And that means our emotions were designed to reflect something sacred, not shameful. We were not given emotions to confuse us or punish us. They are a tool for discernment, for connection, and for alignment. They aren't mistakes to be hidden. They're invitations to listen more deeply, to ourselves and to each other. When we push and shut down emotionally, we close off one of the ways we are designed to connect with ourselves and with others and with God. We are living as remnants of our whole selves, fragments. Emotional fluency is the bridge between your inner truth and your outer life. When we are disconnected from ourselves emotionally, we have a hard time navigating our entire world. When we don't know how to identify and understand our emotions or others, everything feels chaotic and confusing. But when we learn to identify, name, navigate, and respond to our emotions with clarity, relationships deepen. Trust strengthens and life starts to make sense again. We have to learn that emotions are not a liability. They are our compass. They are the language of the soul communicating with us at every moment, providing us data. Emotions are not distractions. They're directions. When you become connected to your emotions and fluent in your language, this is where we begin to live wholehearted. Wholeheartedness is deeply connected to our emotional openness and fluency and self-acceptance. When we explore our emotions fully with compassion and courage, we have to be open to vulnerability and be willing to dig deep with focused thought, intention, and action. Living as fragmented remnants emotionally means that we shut down or numb out when big feelings come. We often can feel emotionally hijacked or overwhelmed, or we feel shame around being too much or too sensitive. And we are great at analyzing but struggle to actually feel. But true wholeness requires us to stop fragmenting or suppressing, and instead to integrate our emotions as part of our full human experience. When we live wholehearted, courage, vulnerability, worthiness, and resilience all flow from how we engage with our emotional selves. We make clearer decisions, communicate needs more effectively. We start to heal with awareness and lead with compassion. And most importantly, we begin to understand ourselves and others better. We were never meant to live emotionally disconnected. We were created to feel, to respond, to be moved. Each week in this series, I am sharing a reflection and reveal challenge for us to practice wholeness. And today I invite you, if you will, to join me this week to practice living wholehearted. I want you to ask yourself, where have I become just a remnant of my emotional self? Reflect on this, and then answer the following questions. What emotions am I most comfortable feeling? Which emotions do I avoid? What messages did I receive growing up about expressing my emotions? And what would emotional fluency look like in my relationships this week? Now the reveal. I want you to take inventory. Write down how many emotions that you can personally identify. Then pick one emotion that you've been avoiding. Sit with it. Name it. Then ask, what are you trying to teach me? Listen to it and respond with grace. Learning to listen to your emotional language is not just healing, it's holy work. When you start becoming emotionally fluent, you reclaim a part of yourself that's been wanting to speak. So this week, let your heart speak. Let your emotions guide you to wholeness, because freedom doesn't just have to live in your thoughts, it lives in your heart. If you would like to take your journey deeper, I have created downloadable worksheets for each episode in this series. Each one includes space to reflect and to write and some more information. You can grab yours now at theriskypath.com or by clicking the link in the show notes. Because transformation happens when we engage, not just listen. I want to thank you so much for joining me today on The Free Advantage. And as you know, for more tools and resources, please visit theriskypath.com. And if this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Your voice matters and helps us to grow and get our message out to more people just like you. Let's continue this journey to freedom together. And remember, freedom is the advantage you already own. Until next time.